And in this first lesson, I thought it would be, or it might be useful to start with the pronunciation of the vowels. Okay, and after that, of course, consonant will come, but it will be in the next lesson. Okay, so let's see now for the vowels, how it goes. So the first one is A. Okay, A. So not really difficult to pronounce for most of you. Second one is repeat, okay. Remember that on this vowel we can put some accents, okay, and then it will affect the way you will pronounce the okay. But if it's like that without any accent and you need to spell it or to pronounce the letter, it's okay, Next one is E, then O. Okay, so don't be afraid to put your mouth really round. O, okay, so it's quite deep. O, okay, then U. So this U can be tricky. So from my experience of teaching, I've been noticing that, well, in most of the cases for American people, it can be quite tricky at the beginning. So you really need to insist on that. It's U. Okay, Spanish-speaking persons can have some difficulties as well for that. Okay, so don't be afraid to pronounce. So really, it's not U, because in most of the cases that's the mistake people tend to make. They pronounce it like U. Okay, now in that case it's really U. So really narrow sound. Okay, so don't be afraid to insist on that. And the last one is well, it's Y. So if you need to spell it, then you say Y. Okay, when you pronounce it, it's like E. Okay, but the name of the letter is Y. Okay, so if we check them again one more time, this one is A, then comes I, O, U, remember, U, and the last one, Y for the name, okay, but then the pronunciation is E, alright? And in this lesson, we'll discover the pronunciation of the consonants, so les consonnes. Are you ready? So let's start now. Okay, so les consonnes, B. Okay, so this one shouldn't be that difficult to produce. B. Then comes C. Okay, C. D. F. G. Okay, so if we want to repeat them one more time, B, C, D, F, G. Okay, let's see the others. H, J, K, L, M. Okay, one more time. H, J, K, L, M. Okay, and then of course it continues. N, P, Q, R. So it's quite important because people tend to think that French people are making this R like that, really deep and really, well, it will hurt your throat if you try to insist too much on that. And if you listen to me, well, basically it's not that strong. R. Okay, so it's quite soft. R. the next one is S, S. Okay, so let's see them one more time. N, P, Q, R, S. And the last consonant are T, T, V, V, W, W. Okay, so we've got this double, and then V, W, okay, X, X, and the last one, Z, Z. Okay, so remember to pronounce this D at the end. Z, Z. Okay, so let's see them one more time. T, V, W, X, Z. Discover les accents, so the accents. And normally when we talk about the accents, we tend to insist on the accents which are on the top of the letter E, okay, because they will change the pronunciation of the letter. When you put the accents on the top of O, I, or A, well, nowadays we don't really pronounce the differences, but then E is still affected by that, so you should really first remember the name of the accent, okay, and it's normally like that, okay, and then the sound that you will have to pronounce or to produce when you see it on the top of the okay, because so without any accent, this letter, if you remember, we saw that previously, is pronounced okay, but then when you put this one, so this one is called accent aigu, okay, it goes like that, in that direction, okay, and you will pronounce the letter like E, okay, listen to the difference, without the accent, with the accent, E, okay, without and with E, alright. Second accent that we can work on, it's a little bit the same, but it goes in the other direction. So if you look, it goes like that, okay, and then it's called accent grave, okay, and the sound that you will have to produce is eh. So it's really open. I mean, the sound is really open, and normally your mouth should be opened a little bit more than with the accent aigu as well. Okay, so it goes like eh. All right, don't be afraid to insist a little bit on the pronunciation. Okay, first, and then you can make it shorter after, of course. Eh, eh. All right, so let's compare them. The first one is eh, and then the second one is eh. All right, the good news is that the next one, so accent circonflexe, is pronounced like accent grave. Okay, so it's the same pronunciation here, okay, and it's the open one, okay, eh, okay, eh. All right, so you can see that it's just like a little hat that you get to put on the top of okay. So let's see one more time the differences. This one, eh, okay, and then these two accents, like here, eh, open, eh, okay. The last one, tréma, well, basically it's quite rare, and the tricky thing is that in some cases you will have to pronounce it like eh, okay, like for instance Noël, okay, but then in some cases as well it can be pronounced like eh, okay. So my advice would be try to remember the word, and they are really rare, so don't be afraid about that, okay. So but that, let's focus on the three main accents here, okay. The first one, accent aigu, remember, e, accent grave, eh, and the last one, accent circonflexe, eh. So we'll focus on les caractères spéciaux, so the special characters that maybe you will have to use if you want to, well, spell your name, or then if you want to give a web address or something like that. So because normally they can be quite useful, and at the really beginning, so it's quite useful to spend a little time on them. Okay, so let's start now. Les caractères spéciaux, the first one. Okay, if you look at it, it's here. Okay, and we called it tiret. Okay, tiret. All right, let's see the second one. Same thing, but it's, you know, the low one, so we call it tiret bas. Tiret bas. Okay, so remember the first one located in the middle is tiret, and the other one here is tiret bas. Okay, let's see the other one. So officially we called it arrobase, okay, but then, well, let's be honest, we can hear many French people or French-speaking people using this at, okay, but then the French were, of course, at, all right, but officially it should be arrobase. Okay, so don't be surprised if someone is using that, or then you can use it as well, because that's the way it should be used. So arrobase. Okay, here, so the dot, okay, because it's not always easy to spot here, we call it point. Okay, point. All right, so one more time: tiret, tiret bas, arrobase, point. Okay, and then it continues a little bit. So if you want to indicate that you've got, well, a double letter, okay, you can say, so in that case it's p, okay, so you say deux, okay, deux, it's two in French, deux, okay, p, deux, p, okay. If it would be another letter, then you would say deux, and then the name of the letter, of course. Then this one here is called apostrophe. Okay, apostrophe, apostrophe. Okay, and the last one for this lesson, here you can see that in some cases, so we'll see that a bit later, I mean the reason why, but still you can have this little thing beneath the C, okay, and that's what we call cédille, cédille, okay, cédille, cédille, okay. And we'll discover a quite important thing, because it's a verb, and it's the verb être, okay. Être means to be, okay, so as in many languages, the to be is quite useful, just for a simple reason. You tend to use it quite often, and then we can use it to construct some composed tenses that we'll see a bit later. Okay, so let's see how it goes at the present form. Le verbe être first is je suis, je suis, okay. Je, it's the pronom personnel, so it's I, okay. Suis, I am, okay. Je suis, all right. Then second person, tu es, okay. So remember, être is really tricky, especially when it comes to pronunciations. Okay, so first one, suis, as you've been noticing, you don't pronounce the final S, okay. And for tu, then you've got this combination of letters, okay, but then basically the sound you will pronounce or you will produce is est, okay. Tu es, all right. Je suis, tu es. Okay, so let's see the next one. So you get this il, okay, so it's a capital letter, but then it's I and then L, okay, il, so it's he, okay, masculine form, and then elle, she, so feminine form, okay, and this is the verb, so il est, or then elle est. So you can notice that even if we write them differently, this like that and like that, we pronounce them the same way. And that's usually the difficult thing, you know, with the French language. What you write and what you pronounce can be quite different. Okay, so remember, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est. Okay, so let's see how the next one comes. Here it's nous, nous. Okay, sorry about that. Whoops. Nous sommes. Okay, nous sommes. Okay, so you don't pronounce the final S here, it doesn't exist. Sommes. Nous sommes. Okay, then the next one is coming. Vous êtes. Same thing here. Notice that final S is not pronounced. Et. Okay, and then in French we tend to have this liaison. So liaison, it's like a link, okay, that we can make between the words. So in that case, vous is ending with S, and then you tend to make a little link between them. So vous êtes, z, it goes like that. Vous êtes, okay? Vous êtes, vous êtes. All right, so let's see one more time. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes. Okay, and let's see the last one. Il. Okay, so you can notice that even if you've got this S at the end, and then here you don't have anything, well, you pronounce them the same way. Okay, il, singular form, il, plural form. Okay, ils sont, final T not pronounced, ils sont, elles sont. Okay, ils sont, elles sont. So let's see it again. Je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. All right. One more thing to notice, because it's quite important. This vous form, okay, can be used for the plural, of course, and then it's the polite form that we use if you meet someone for the first time. Let's say it's someone that you are connected to professionally, or it's, well, someone important, or then, well, in that case, or then you don't know this person, you should use definitely this vous, okay, for the first time. It's the polite form. After that, you can decide whether you want to use this tu form, okay, which is normally quite common in French, but then first remember that vous is better. Okay, let's see a few examples now. Okay, first, I've been writing this question. So, quelle est votre nationalité? Okay, so here to show you that it's here. Quelle means what, est is, votre, your. So it's according to this vous. Okay, so the polite form of your, and then nationalité, nationality. Okay, so let's repeat the question. Quelle est votre nationalité? All right, and in French we tend to raise the voice at the end when we've got this little point d'interrogation. If it's a question, don't be afraid to go like whoop, and raise a little bit at the end. Okay, so quelle est votre nationalité? Okay, quelle est votre nationalité? So if you want to present or to say where you're from, okay, so we're using this être for that, you know. Je suis, okay, so you get here it already, and then you put this français, français, okay, it's French. Je suis français. Je suis français. Okay, then another example. Quel est votre nom de famille? Famille, family, nom, name. So nom de famille, family name, last name if you want. Okay. Quel, it's still what. Okay, in that case it's written like that. So we will see that in a coming lesson, but just to inform you, that's the masculine form, just because nom is masculine, and here you've got the feminine form because nationalité is feminine. Okay, but then we pronounce them the same way. So quel est, what is, votre, your nom de famille, so family name or last name. Okay, it's a question. Quel est votre nom de famille? Okay, so it's not the opera or something that you want to sing. Okay, so just raise a little bit your voice at the end of the question. Okay, so the answer, c'est le François. So it's interesting because you can see that we've got this c'est here, and it doesn't show in the examples that we saw previously, or for the conjugation, just because it's so, well, basically you could translate it like it is, or this is, or yeah, it is. Okay, c'est le François. Okay, and the last one, quelle est sa profession? Okay, quelle est sa profession? What is, so être, same, ça, so it's her, profession, profession. Okay, elle est directrice. Elle est directrice. Okay, so she's a director, and then it's the feminine form here. All right. So the last lesson was introduction of le verbe être, okay, and I thought it would be more logical to continue with le verbe avoir. So avoir means to have, okay, and for the same reason as to be, okay, it's really useful and really used, so you should definitely know this verb avoir by heart if you want to master French language. Okay, so let's see that, the verb avoir, okay. And so we'll see the different forms. So the first one is j'ai. Okay, j'ai. All right. So if you remember correctly, we had this je, personal pronoun, and then when it comes near another vowel like a, for instance, then it tends to disappear. Okay, so just to avoid pronouncing this je ai, because we think that in French it doesn't sound that beautiful, so we tend to take this e away, okay, so that you get this sound j'ai, j'ai. Okay, so j apostrophe ai. Remember, when you combine this ai, you get the e sound. Okay, second one, tu as. Okay, as usual in French, final s is not pronounced. Tu as. Tu as. Okay, first one, j'ai, tu as. Then comes il, so masculine form, he. Okay, il, he. Elle, she. Okay, and then a. So as you can notice, second form as is pronounced a, and this is a. Same pronunciation in both cases. Okay, then nous avons, final s not pronounced, avons. Okay, and then we tend to make this little link, as I said previously in the lesson, for être, you make this link between the two, so nous avons, nous avons. Okay, nous avons, nous avons. That's it. Next one, same thing, the little liaison, little link between the two. Okay, vous avez, vous avez. All right, and the last one, so same thing. If you can see, you get this final s and final s here. Okay, and then you will have to make the little link between the two. Ils ont, ils ont, ils ont. Okay, and then feminine form, elles ont, elles ont. All right, let's see the whole thing one more time. J'ai, tu as, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, ils ont, elles ont. Okay, so let's see now, just to make it more clear. Remember, so I in French is je, you it's tu, he, il, she, elle, we, nous, you, so as in English, first use for the plural, a group of person, okay, and then second use the polite form for you, one person, okay, vous, il, elle, one last time, je, tu, il, elle, nous, vous, il, elle. Discover le verbe aller. So the verb aller, aller means to go, so it's really useful because, well, we tend to use it like that, so for the main to go reason quite often, and we use it as also, like in many languages, for what we call the futur proche, so the near future. I am going to, and then you put a verb at the infinitive. So it is quite used, especially in the oral language. We tend to maybe use it a little bit more than the real future. Okay, so let's see how you conjugate this aller verb. The first form is je vais. Okay, so remember, final S not pronounced here. Je vais. Okay, when you combine this A, I, you get the sound E, really open. Okay, je vais. D'accord? Tu vas. Final S doesn't exist. Tu vas. Tu vas. Okay, then we've got this il, so remember il, it's for the masculine form, so he, okay, and then elle, she, okay, and then you get the va form. Basically you pronounce it like for the tu because you don't pronounce the final S, okay, il va, elle va, okay, je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va. Then nous, so we, plural form, nous allons, okay, and if you, so final S not pronounced, and then if you are purist, and I'm sure you are, you want to make this beautiful and little liaison, so this little link between the words, so it does mean that you will have to pronounce this z sound, okay, listen to me, nous allons, nous allons. Okay, nous allons. That's it. Same thing here. We'll have this little link between the two. Vous allez. Vous allez. And the last one. So remember, here you've got this S just to make the difference between the singular and the plural, because when you put the plural form, normally you tend to add S at the end of the words. Okay, like here. But then you don't pronounce it. So ils vont, final T not pronounced, ils vont, and then feminine form, elles vont. Alright, let's see everything again. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Alright? And then just few examples just to show you how useful this aller verb can be, because we tend to use this aller verb when you want to ask if someone is doing fine, okay? So the first question, how do you do in French is comment, so how, comment, allez-vous? And then same thing here, little link between the two. Comment allez-vous? comment allez-vous? Alright, so I've been putting this vous form here for the first example, just to show you that if you meet someone for the first time, then it's better to use this vous. So here, the vous form, so because it's the polite form. Okay, comment allez-vous? Okay, it's a question, so raise a little bit your voice at the end, like comment allez-vous? Okay, you see, comment allez-vous? Alright, so answer when you want to say I'm doing fine. Okay, je vais bien, and then you say merci, thank you. Je vais bien, merci. So now, if you know the person, okay, you get two options. I mean, normally that's the most used one. The first one would be comment vas-tu? Okay, so in that case you just switch and you change this you, so polite form, and you change it with this tu form, comment vas-tu? Okay, well, answer can be the same, you know, je vais bien, merci. Okay, and the other one, comment ça va? Okay, it would be like impersonal form. Okay, so you're not really addressing directly to the person. How is it going? Could be translated. Could be translated like that in English. Okay, comment ça va? Okay, you raise a little bit at the end. Comment ça va? And then same thing. You can answer with ça va, merci. Okay, so let's read them. Comment allez-vous? Je vais bien, merci. Comment vas-tu? Je vais bien, merci. Comment ça va? Ça va, merci. We will discover le verbe s'appeler. So previously we've been seeing three verbs. So the first one was être, to be, yeah, and then after that it was avoir, to have, and then in the last or previous lesson it was aller, to go. And I thought it would be useful to introduce this s'appeler verb, because normally that's the verb you tend to use at the right beginning when you want to introduce yourself, because if you say my name is, well, in French we will use this s'appeler verb. Okay, it is always tricky and a big challenge for a French teacher to introduce this s'appeler verb at the real beginning, because it belongs to this group of verbs that we call verb pronominaux. So you'll see why, because if you compare it to the others, something is coming there. Okay, so if you remember, when we conjugate a verb, first we put the pronom personnel, so the personal pronoun here. So je is like I. Okay, and then so basically the verb appeler means to call. Okay, so without this s, okay, appeler is to call. Okay, and then when you had this s here, and then if you transform it like in this form, I call, and this is a pronoun, it's like me, so it's like I call myself, I call me. So it's just the way we've got in French to introduce ourselves. Okay, so it's je m'appelle. Okay, je m'appelle. Alright, second form, tu t'appelles. Okay, remember, final S not pronounced. Tu t'appelles. Okay, then il s'appelle. Il s'appelle. Elle s'appelle. Elle s'appelle. And then the funny thing for nous or vous, you'll see that, well, basically we repeat it, or repeat, it's just a pronoun. So we call ourselves, if you want, okay, but then we put the pronouns before the verb. Okay, nous appelons. And then little link would be perfect, so let's pronounce the whole thing again. Nous appelons. Nous appelons. Okay, final S doesn't exist. Nous appelons. Okay, then vous vous appelez. Vous vous appelez. Okay, so you can hear we put the little link again here. Vous vous appelez. Alright, and the last one, il s'appelle, elle s'appelle. Okay, so one thing that you should remember, and probably you did here. Okay, so here for nous and vous, so we've got only one L, like here in the infinitive form. So that's the reason why I've been pronouncing appelons. Okay, and then appeler. Alright, but for je, so if you can spot it here, look, we've got double L here, double L, and then for the plural form double L. So when you get this E vowel and then you get a double consonant, and well, they are the same, then it does change the pronunciation of E. You tend to pronounce it like really open. That's the reason why you pronounce it appel, appel. Okay, appel, 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 and appel. Alright, so as I said, that's the tricky thing with French language. I mean, you write them like here without S, here with S, and here with E and T, you pronounce them the same way. Je m'appelle, tu t'appelles, il, elle s'appelle, il, elle s'appelle. Okay? Alright. And now a few examples. Comment vous vous appelez? Okay, so comment vous vous appelez? So when you want to know the name of someone, you know. Comment vous vous appelez? Answer. Je m'appelle Vincent. Et vous? Okay, so I am Vincent. I call myself Vincent if you want. Vincent. Et vous? And you. Okay, so you want to know the name of the person who is asking this question. Okay. The other possibility that you would have, you know. So first you've been starting with comment and then vous vous appelez. Okay, so that's the, well, a common way of asking the question. All right. Other possibility would be to start with vous vous appelez. Okay, so technically you just take the verb and then you put this comment, how, at the end. Okay, it would be possible as well. Okay, remember to raise your voice. Vous vous appelez comment? All right. And the last one is the more correct form. Okay, so first you should start with comment, how, and then, as in many languages, you should, well, change a little bit the order of the structure of the sentence. Okay, vous appelez vous. Okay, that's the real correct way to ask the name of someone, you know. Comment vous appelez-vous? Alright, and then you raise your voice. Comment vous appelez-vous? Alright, so let's repeat them. Comment vous vous appelez? Vous vous appelez comment? Comment vous appelez-vous? Alright, we'll discover in this lesson pour se présenter. So if you want to present yourself, okay, so it will be a really short lesson, but still quite useful, because, well, technically you will have to present yourself at one point when you speak with French people or French-speaking people. Okay, so let's discover how it goes. The first one, well, you tend to use this appeler verb. Okay, je m'appelle Vincent Lefrançois. Okay, je m'appelle Vincent Lefrançois. So you use this s'appeler verb. So I did introduce this verb in the previous lesson, so it was leçon H. Okay, so if you didn't see this lesson, I definitely invite you to watch it, because I tend to explain the reason why, you know, I've got this, well, there is this je m'appelle form. Okay, so je m'appelle Vincent Lefrançois. So that's the first possibility you will have. The other possibility is to use this être, so to be verb. Je suis, I am, je suis Vincent Lefrançois. Okay, so the first one, je m'appelle, so basically s'appeler or je m'appelle, you could translate it directly, but well, it's not really interesting, but still, you know, I call myself, okay, so that's the verb we tend to use when we introduce ourselves. Je m'appelle Vincent Lefrançois, okay, and then the second one, I am, je suis Vincent Lefrançois, and the last option we will have is mon nom, my name, mon nom is Vincent Lefrançois, okay. First option, je m'appelle Vincent Lefrançois. Second, je suis Vincent Lefrançois. Last one, mon nom est Vincent Lefrançois. Of course, the first one is the most used. Okay, even if the verb is a bit tricky at the beginning, definitely you should work on it, and you should, well, master this s'appeler verb, because that's the one we will use when we introduce ourselves. Okay, we'll discover les articles définis, so definite articles. In English it would be the. Okay, but in French, of course, as usual, we've got the difference between the masculine form, the feminine form, and the plural form. Okay, and we start with the masculine form, so we've got le, okay, and then in some cases this vowel if it's close to other vowels, so if there is a word after that starting with a vowel, in some case it will have to disappear. Okay, so you will get this L apostrophe, so that's the reason I've been writing it here. Okay, but then the main form is le. Okay, then la, feminine form, la, same, for the same reason, you know, you will have this option L apostrophe as well. And then the plural form is les. Okay, so whereas in English you've got only, there is only this the form, in French we will have the difference between the masculine form le, the feminine form la, and then the plural form les. So of course, according to the word, you will have to choose the correct article. So we'll take a few examples here. The first one is chien. Chien is a dog, and in French, chien, like that, it's masculine, so le chien. So basically you just put the article le and then chien. Okay, in that case, second case, ordinateur, well, you can see that it starts with the vowel o. Okay, and as I said, you know, and o, they don't get along that well, so you've got to take this away, and then you get this l'ordinateur, l'ordinateur. All right, and third example, so I took on purpose this hôtel, okay, because it starts with H, but remember that in French we don't pronounce H, okay, so basically the first sound of the word is the vowel O, okay, so for the same reason, needs to disappear. L'hôtel, okay, so if we repeat them, le chien, l'ordinateur, and then l'hôtel. Okay, feminine form, la famille. Okay, so no problem, so family, la famille. Okay, then we've got argent, money, argent, same for the same reason, so l'argent. Okay, you get to take this away, l'argent, and same thing as previously when what we saw for the masculine part. Even if you've got this h, then the first sound you hear is a. Okay, so for the same reason you will have to take this a away, and then you get this l'habitation, l'habitation. Okay, and then I've been taking, well, basically the example from here, chien. Okay, and then I put s at the end, and it's the mark of the plural. Okay, so you put les chiens, the dogs. Okay, les chiens, and then you take famille, family. Okay, you just add this final s and you get the plural form, les familles. Okay, remember, chien, singular form, chien, same pronunciation, but you put this s. Okay, final s not pronounced. Famille, singular form, famille, plural form, same pronunciation, s not pronounced. Okay, we'll discover les articles indéfinis, so indefinite articles. So in English there is only one, and it's or un. Okay, and in French we've got always the difference between the masculine form the feminine form and the plural form, as we saw in the previous lesson. Remember, for the definite articles, okay, it was the same, okay, and in this lesson, so article indéfini, well, it's the same. We'll start with the masculine form, and the masculine form goes like that. So when you put these two letters together, it can be quite tricky to pronounce at the beginning. Of course, after that you will master it without any problem and without any doubt, but you've got to pronounce it like un. So it's what we call the nasal, so it goes in your nose, okay? Un. So if you listen to me, you don't hear any N, okay? So it's just a combination of the two. Un, un, un. Alright? Okay, so that's the masculine form. Then the feminine article is here, and it's easier because if you have this U-N-E, then you pronounce it une, une. Okay, masculine, un, feminine form, une, une. Okay, and then the plural form, des. All right, here s you pronounce it like e. Okay, un, une, des. All right, let's see a few examples now. Okay, here ami means friend. Okay, un ami, and then we tend to make this little link between the two. Un ami, un ami. Okay, soleil, sun. Un soleil, un soleil. Livre, book. Un livre, un livre. Voiture, car, féminine. Une voiture, une voiture. École, school, feminine form as well. Une école, une école. Décision, une décision. Une décision. Don't ask me to translate this décision. Come on, please. Ami, so I've been taking this now. Look, ami here. So we've got the masculine form and it's the singular. Remember, if you want to put the plural form, then you just add this final S here. Okay, but then technically you pronounce it the same way. So singular form ami, plural form you add this S, but it's ami as well. Okay, in that case you get des, so here des, okay, here, and then there is this little liaison. Remember, it's been introduced in a previous lesson. You put this little link between the word. Des amis, des amis. Okay, I've been taking voiture here, voiture, a car. Okay, just add this S at the end and then you get the plural form, des voitures. Okay, and then I've been taking back this livre, same thing, you just add S at the end, des livres. Okay, let's repeat them one more time. Un, une, des. Un ami, un soleil, un livre, une voiture, une école, une décision, des amis, des voitures, des livres. Let's cover together l'article interrogatif. So it's really useful, and we'll see that now. So l'article interrogatif, here you get the masculine form, and it's quel. Quel means what. Okay, so that's what you'll use when you want to ask a question with what. Okay, and you've got a good example here. So quel est votre nom de famille? What is votre, your, so the polite form of your. Nom de famille, family name, last name, okay? Quel est votre nom de famille? What is your last name? Second example, quel est votre prénom? Prénom is first name. What is votre, the polite form for your? Quel est votre prénom? What is your first name? Okay, so you can see now, more in detail, that nom, prénom are masculine words. And that's the reason why, in that case, you get to choose the article here according to the gender of the word it is connected to. Quel, masculine form, because nom is masculine. Quel, masculine form, because prénom is masculine. Okay, let's see now the feminine. And the good news is that, as usual in French, we write the thing differently, but then we can pronounce them the same way. And then the feminine form is written like that, Q-U-E-L-L-E, but it's pronounced like the masculine form. Quelle at the masculine, quelle at the feminine. Okay, so it's basically same pronunciation. Okay, and then here we've got two examples. So for the same reason as previously, we had this nom and then prénom. They were masculine words, so you will have to put this quelle form at the masculine. And then here, nationalité and adresse, so nationality, address, are feminine words. So it does mean that you will have to use this article interrogatif, quelle, at the feminine form. Quelle est, what is, votre, your, nationalité. What is your nationality? Quelle est votre nationalité? Okay. Quelle est votre adresse? What is your address? Okay. So, let's repeat them. Quel est votre nom de famille? Quel est votre prénom? Quelle est votre nationalité? Quelle est votre adresse? Okay. So, remember one thing for the phonetics, okay, the way to pronounce them. Quelle, masculine form here, will be pronounced exactly as the feminine form here. Quelle. So only one sound, okay? And then the second thing that you've got to remember, of course, you can, well, basically accord these articles with the word they are connected to. So it does mean that if the word is at the plural form, then you will have to put the plural form. The rule in French, if you remember correctly from the previous lessons we've been doing, is to put this final S at the end of the words to put the plural. Okay, so quelle here for the masculine singular will become quelle here, masculine plural. Okay, quelle here, feminine singular, will become quelle with the S, feminine plural. And the good news is that you will pronounce them the same way. Alright, so quelle, 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 and quelle. Okay, remember that in some cases, of course, you will have to make this little liaison, you know, this little link between the words. So if the word or the verb or whatever is coming after is starting with the vowel, of course you will have to put this little link. But then if you pronounce it, or if you pronounce them just like that, quelle, 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 quelle. Okay? We're going to discover together les jours et les mois. So, the days and the month. Okay? Les jours et les mois. So let's see that together. And so we'll start with les jours de la semaine. Okay, semaine is week. Les jours, so you can see that it's the plural form. Huh? The days, huh? Les jours of de la semaine. Les jours de la semaine, the days of the week. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. And in France, the week starts with lundi, Monday, lundi, lundi. Okay, remember, UN is pronounced like un, lundi, lundi, lundi. Then mardi, mardi. So you can hear that you don't pronounce it that strongly, this R. Huh? Mardi, mardi, okay? You don't need to go too deep like mardi, no, no, no. You don't move your tongue, so it doesn't sound like mardi, no. It's really soft, mardi, 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 okay? The next one is mercredi, mercredi, Wednesday, mercredi, mercredi, okay? Next one, jeudi, jeudi. Remember, when you combine this u, you get the sound jeudi, jeudi. So I insist a little bit, so make it softer. Jeudi, jeudi. Then en, nasal, and it's en. So remember, vendredi, 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 vendredi. Okay? Then samedi, samedi, don't insist on the hein? Samedi, samedi, alright? And the last one, dimanche, dimanche. You get the sh, and then an, en, dimanche. Okay, let's see them one more time. Lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi, vendredi, samedi, dimanche. Normally, in France, we tend to use this le weekend. So if we're talking about the weekend, okay, but then pronounce it the French way, weekend. Le weekend, okay. But then in other French-speaking countries, they tend to use this la fin de semaine, okay. But then in most of the cases, if you talk with French people, it will be le weekend, le weekend. If you want to talk about les mois de l'année, okay, année, year, mois, month, okay, les mois de l'année. So we'll see now the first one. The first one, January, so it looks, well, it looks a bit the same, no? No, wow, no. But anyway, janvier, so that's the way to pronounce it. Janvier, A-N, en, okay, and then ye, janvier. Then comes février, février. Okay, remember when you have this accent aigu on the top of then you pronounce it e. Okay, there is a lesson regarding this topic, so don't be afraid. And if you're not sure about that, well, try to practice it. Février, février. Okay, then mars. Okay, so in a way it's an exception because normally final S is not pronounced in French. Okay, we've got some exceptions and this one is one of them. So mars, pronounce the final S, mars, mars. Okay, then avril, avril, avril. Nothing really tricky about this month, I mean, for the pronunciation. Avril. Okay, here be careful because people tend to try to pronounce it the English way. In French, remember when you combine this A and then I vowels, you get the sound E. So really open E, okay, and then you pronounce it me. Okay, so don't pronounce I, don't try to pronounce it. No, it's me. So it's not my, it's me. Okay, and then here, well, it's a bit tricky, but still, IN goes like un, okay, and then you get juin, juin. Okay, let's see them one more time. Janvier, février, mars, avril, mai, juin. Okay, second round. Hop. Juillet. Okay, you get this double L here. Juillet. Don't pronounce this final T, E-T here at the end. Juillet. So it's July. And then here, two options, because, well, two options are acceptable in French. The first one, you don't pronounce the final T. Ou. Second one, you pronounce it août. Alright, so remember, first option, don't pronounce it ou. Second option, you pronounce it août. Okay? Then, well, it's quite simple normally for English-speaking persons, or then it's quite close to other languages as well. So septembre, septembre. Remember this EM en septembre. You don't insist on the final E. Septembre, septembre. Then same thing here. Don't insist on the final E. Octobre, octobre, octobre. Novembre, novembre, novembre. Okay, EM en novembre, novembre. And the last one. Décembre, décembre, décembre. Same thing. EM en décembre. Okay, so let's repeat them. Juillet. Remember this. Juillet. Août. First option. Août. Second option. Septembre. Octobre. Novembre. Décembre. Okay. The little gift. L'hiver. L'hiver. And it means winter. So I've been putting this M here just to tell you that it's masculine. L'hiver. Le printemps. Le printemps. Spring. L'été. L'été. Summer. So I forgot to put it, but here I should put M because it's masculine. L'été. L'automne. L'automne. And same thing here, it should be M, automne, masculine. L'automne. Okay, so let's repeat it. L'hiver, le printemps, l'été, l'automne. And then, the last thing for this lesson, if you want to introduce the dates, okay, so if you want to tell what day it is today, so aujourd'hui means today. Aujourd'hui, today. Nous sommes, so we use the verb to be, okay, we are, nous sommes, le 8 juin 2012. Okay, so forget for the 2012, don't be afraid, we'll see that a bit later for the numbers, okay. Aujourd'hui, today, nous sommes, we are, le, you put the article, definite article, okay, and then you put the date here, okay, you start with the number, the month, and then the year, okay. Or then, second option, aujourd'hui, so it doesn't change, it's here, today, c'est, it is, this is, and then you put the date, le 8 juin 2012. Okay?